Hello, Kaiko here, and welcome to the chaos. Let's go.
Okay, let's talk to these guys. Yep, let's talk to these guys, just so we can trigger this quest. Hedwig! Still feel like it could have gone a bit further. The acting Grandmaster's sword pressure could have felt more imposing. Ideally, it would have felt as if a single slash could split a mountain in two, then it would truly live up to her name, the Lion Fang Knight. From a moral standpoint, I agree, but in terms of presentation, I'd say the current level of artistic refinement is already more than enough. When she agreed to let us put her image into the minigame, I doubt she expected us to go this over the top. Hey, what are you two chatting about? Oh, perfect timing on your night. Paimon wants to try out the Cavalry Company's nightly play. Why does it have nightly in the name? How's it different from a normal play? Basically, it's a kind of live combat experience mixing Mondstadt-style costumes and sets with Fontaine's film tech. Once you step onto the set, you'll fight powerful enemies and get a taste of the larger-than-life heroism you hear about in stories. As for the nightly part, in battle, once your faith reaches a certain point, you can summon a shadow of the Lion Fang Knight. This will allow you to use dandelion sword pressure to send waves of wind sweeping across the battlefield, felling evil foes like leaves scattering before a storm. Huh? The Lion Fang Knight? Isn't that Jean? Sounds like you two really look up to her. Indeed, this project was originally meant to be a simple opportunity for friendly sparring. It's only knights need a chance to relax, but if they don't practice, they'll soon lose their edge in battle. But then Hedwig came up with the idea of adding the shadow of the Lion Fang Knight to spice things up a little bit. I thought it sounded fun, so I helped put in a few words from the sidelines. I really owe it to Captain Kaya. The expedition's been away so long. I just wanted everyone to see how much stronger the acting Grandmaster has become. Her administrative skills are flawless, and her combat skills have reached heights as us regular knights can only dream of. Wow, there's so much that's so thoughtful of you, Hedwig. I'm super curious to know what dandelion sword pressure looks like. And when I want to try that display, let's witness the shadow of the Lion Fang Knight in action. I feel relieved knowing you two are here in the audience for our nightly play, if you'll just follow me over here. Hope you enjoy the interactive performance. Okay. Greetings, night. I am Hawken, Cavalry Captain, liaison to the General Affairs Company. Is there anything I can help you with besides the play? Tell me more about the General Affairs Company. Oh, so you're interested in the first company? In that case, please allow me to give you a brief overview. The General Affairs Company is responsible for planning and organising Mondstadt general affairs, things like economic output, enforcement of regulations, city management, those sorts of things. Because of that, most of their duties involve a lot of paperwork. As a liaison, my role is to assist Captain Kai in coordinating cooperation between the General Affairs Company and our own. It's like a pretty cozy position. It doesn't look like your duties are stressing you out. You're not wrong, the pay is good, the hours are reasonable, and most of the time I get to deal with the friendly, welcoming citizens of Mondstadt. It's a very enjoyable role. That said, if you have any friends who want to join the Knights of Favonius, it's probably best not to aim straight for the first company. Why is that? Are there too few openings? At present, we prioritise recruiting knights who've sustained combat injuries who can no longer serve at full strength on the front lines. As for full-time clerks, they're required to pass rigorous professional qualifying exams. It's fair to say anyone training from a young age to become a knight rarely has the time to study to that level of specialised knowledge. Comfortable, well-paid positions are something you can earn through proven ability and conviction. They're not easy roles to get. So, what's your situation? My situation isn't too bad. During an engagement with a pair of eyes of the storm, both my legs are broken and combat fractures. After years of recovery, I can walk just fine, but I can no longer charge, much less fight shoulder to shoulder with my comrades. That's how I became a liaison. Have you considered using prosthetics? That's not a bad idea. If I could find a suitable model and my comrades didn't mind someone slightly weaker fighting beside them, I wouldn't mind trying it out. That way, even if that lunatic Hedwig ever returns to the front lines, I'll at least be able to keep an eye on her and spare my parents some worry. Yes, our families used to live one floor apart when Hedwig was 7. Her parents went abroad. After that, something must have happened because there's been no word of them since. My family took her in. She stayed with us until she grew up, found work, and moved out on her own. Even though we were treated her like one of the family, when a child's real parents are gone, often the emptiness that left behind can't be filled by anything else. I think that may be why she so deeply admires Commander Gunhilda, both of them. Deeply admired? I'm not quite following the logic here. It's just a guess, really. At first, she may have simply hoped that her mother was as brave as the elder knight, and her parents' long silence meant that they were fighting some dark forces somewhere rather than having met an unfortunate end. She probably wishes that she herself could become as strong as the Lion Fang Knight, strong enough that one day she could overcome every obstacle and travel abroad to find her parents. Later on, influenced by the two commanders Gunhilda, she must have let go of some of those dreams, or remained with a single conviction to fight for Mondstadt. That's why she pushed herself so hard to join the Knights of Favonius, why she threw herself into duty without regard for her own safety, doing everything she could to eliminate danger wherever it happened. As her younger brother, I figured I should do something to keep her from getting herself killed, so I followed her into service with the Knights. You put it like that? I still don't quite get it. Well, I've gone along enough. Thanks for listening so patiently, it's truly an honour. If you'd like to know more about the General Affairs Company, feel free to come by another time. I can prepare some documents and go over everything in detail. Okay, wait, we need to see the rest of that. Okay, let's see. What's Hedwig's situation? The situation's a little different. She transferred directly from the cavalry company to the general affairs company. Her unit discovered 2 inactive ruin guards concealed in the bushes next to a major road. While attempting to neutralize the threat, the ruin guards suddenly activated. She and 2 comrades covered the unit's retreat, sent word for reinforcements, and held their ground until Commander Gunholder arrived. It took over a year for her comrades to recover, but Hedwig returned to duty after just 3 months. She was determined to eliminate the threat completely, so she returned to investigate the area where the ruin guards had been. This led her to a small and extremely dangerous domain. After brutal fights, another brutal fight ensued, one that required Commander Gunholder's intervention yet again. This time, half her internal organs were damaged beyond use. The fact she survived it all was a miracle. She had at least another 5 years to recover. The honours and rewards she received are scant recompense for the pain it caused my parents. Yes, the families used to live one floor apart. Okay, yeah. Yes. Okay. I don't need to read this again. Okay. No! No, I don't want. Oh, that is a shadow gene. No, I don't want to know about this. I want to. You to tell me more about Hedwig. Okay. So your parents have Hedwig too? Yes, the families used to live one floor apart. No! Okay, then this is the same. Okay, skip this. Okay. Tell me more about Hedwig. Okay, sounds like you two are pretty close. Yes. Oh, okay, yeah, same thing. Okay. Okay, now let's talk to Hedwig. Hello. Have you experienced the nightly play, Honorary Knight? Did you see Commander Acting Grand Master's heroic visage? I'd love to talk more about it with you. About the Shadow of the Linefang Knights. Impressive, isn't it? When it comes to swordsmanship, the Acting Grand Master is, to my mind, completely unmatched. Captain Kai already knows this, but Hawken probably doesn't. Before I was transferred away from the cavalry company, Commander Gunholder saved my life twice. Back then, she wasn't the Acting Grand Master. Even though she was so young, she could already get the better of almost every other knight, even the grizzled veterans. And she couldn't beat the thrice-damned Inspector, the traitor, Erok. Ugh, I admit it, he really was something else, a real dangerous opponent. He could hold his own against Commander Gunholder, going round after round without a backward step. If it'd been me, 2 strikes and I'd have been on the floor. I remember hearing something about this Inspector before. You've never heard of him, but you make him that really dreadful. We've heard of him before. People are complicated. The older knights say he wasn't a bad sort when he was first recruited. Driven by a strong desire for wealth and power, he was corrupted and led astray, quietly involving himself in all sorts of unsavory schemes. His intelligence and skill at arms only compounded the danger he posed. He was smart enough to match him in strategy, usually had no hope of beating him in one-on-one combat, and those few commanders who could outmatch him in blade to blade were often too busy with their official duties, which gave him all the room for maneuver he needed. Thinking about it now, that sapphire ring he took as a bribe on its own was worth a whole year's wages for 15 knights. Think of how many defense works or public projects that could have funded. That smug, grating voice of his, makes my blood boil just thinking about it. Get a hold of yourself, what's that is done. Right, stay calm, Hedwig. Thankfully, in the second official duel, Commander Gunholder dominated that slime ball. No more than expected from Commander Gunholder, acting Grand Master and the most formidable sword fighter of the knights. Why do you only have a cool Jean by her surname? Because it's the name suits an honor. Many knights my age, that name shaped us more than words could express. We grew up on stories of the older knight, inspired by her deeds. We strove to become Knights Symphonious, and were lucky enough to one day serve alongside the Linefang Knights, giving our blood and sweat to Monset's defense. It makes me feel like I could become part of the legend someday. I've been fortunate in this life, I can die in battle without regrets. Ooh, what did I click? Don't say things like that. Don't get upset, don't worry about me. This world works anything like a stage play, the sort of talk will guarantee me a long and peaceful life. As soon as you make a loud declaration about dying a terrible death, the opposite is sure to happen. We'll see, I'll still be here when my hair's gone white. Is it not already a bit white? Is that grey on purpose then? Sure, knock yourselves out. Oh, okay. Okay, well let's play more of the games then. I want to play the games. I want to play the games. I'm gonna play the games. This shouldn't take too long, I think. Fly, bird, fly! Ooh. 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 Okay. Now what? Oh, warning signal up ahead. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I guess they always do one of these. And then we fought like... Then I wonder if this is a bit like this, because it said phase 1 complete and this is phase 2. I wonder if there's always like a bit where you fly sort of top down. And then you go back to flying more normally. Right, we broke through this obstacle. They best work well together. Watch out! Backpack seems to be damaged. Esther's looking a little worn out. Oh! Oh! Okay, I gotta do it in reverse. Okay, yeah, that'll be. Oh no! Okay, let's go up here a bit. Ah! Okay. Phew! Okay, good thing it wasn't too bad, because that was unpleasant. Well, not unpleasant, but I'm not good at doing things in reverse. As we have learnt from the many chaos streams. Okay. Oh, dragon spine. Okay. This is a challenge of Vesper because it's cold. I hope that won't actually affect poor Vesper. I hope the bird don't get cold. Ooh. Okay, I missed that a little bit. Ooh. Ooh. Aha! Ooh. More of them zoned in before we got there. Ooh. There's these 4 up here, we need to be extra careful. Close see the lot of enemies in that cave ahead. In breakthrough, that's what investment pushing its limit. Oh yeah, there we go. Phase 2. Ooh. There we go. Okay. There we go. There go the honing shells. There we go. I was learning something about momentum, but we've moved past that. Okay, let's see what the last one is. Find a drill circling one stat. Conducting an offensive defense patrol. Oh, how many sounds so professional? My homie got it from Miss Aja. I think it's very wholesome that they always phrase this, like, this entire event is phrased as if it's like we're testing it out so that the other knights can have fun. We've guaranteed it's going to be a good time. It's just so wholesome. Cool. Ooh. There we go. Ooh. Back to the regular view. Ooh. We're flying over the cathedral. Looking down a monster from this height. Sounds really fun. Monster has to grow stronger. Maybe it can carry us that high too. Oh, another version of this. Oh, I think we've got gold. That's good. Okay. I think we're at the end. The aerial battle above monster ends in victory. The Knights of Vulcan can do way more than just scouting. Fighting small monsters is also no challenge at all. Yes! Okay. Easy peasy. Okay, we should be able to claim all of these. And there we go. Easy peasy. Okay, let's have a look at this then. Okay, should we try the fighting one? And I wonder if we've earned enough points. Ooh. We have been earning stuff, okay. Nice. It's gonna be a catalyst. Oh wait, no, this is a appearance? Oh wait, it's not... It's not a weapon? Oh. That's a bit... Usually they give you a weapon or a character, but it sounds like you get neither. Just a weapon appearance. That's a bit rubbish. Okay, let's have a go. Usually we can do it at hard mode. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Let's also use Kazuha? No, Jean. Let's use our Jean Klee team from earlier. I think that's gonna work well. I mean, it worked well last time. Okay. Hopefully this goes well. It's gonna be funny playing as Jean when then like second Jean comes. That's how it works, isn't it? Okay, Shadow of Jean. Okay, I get to use sword pressure. Ghostly Jean sword pressure. I think these are ruin guards because of in her story. She said that real Jean saved her from ruin guards. I wouldn't be surprised if that is what it was. Okay, Jean time. Oh, 3 stars, yes. Okay. There we go. We can probably just leave though. We don't really... No, don't try again! Because combat events are just not my forte. So I think we would have more fun playing the bartending event. So that's what we're gonna do. Well, we're gonna claim our prizes first, obviously. We can't leave them unclaimed. But yeah. Well, we'll go do the other thing. Let's try the bartending. And then maybe we can finish it with some more of the fighting. Oh my, looks like Hertha's gone back to her duties and Gunfida is away somewhere too. Has a dear cutie taking complete charge of the drink stand? That's right, yours truly is in charge, honorary mixologist at your service. Wonderful, now can I order without worrying about ending up with one of the logistic company specials, the type of drink that keeps you awake all night, leaving you no choice but to pass the time working? Working through the night, shouldn't that be a thing of the past? I thought you weren't so rushed off your feet these days. That's right, I'm just a carefree librarian now. If only there weren't too many people with overdue books, I didn't have to go door to door to get them back. But I dropped by to chat with you sooner, and try to get your delightful creations, of course. So what would it be? Any particular flavour you're after? Let me think. I don't really have a favourite drink, just rustle me up something rejuvenating that'll lift my spirits. And if it can help me not off to sleep later, that would be even better. Drink stand has a collection of classical recipes, let's try by choosing one of those. Lisa wants to feel rejuvenated, Snow-Kissed Dawn sounds like a good choice. Okay, a little drink to revive my energy and mood, please. Okay, milk, smetana. Okay, milk. Reset. Just milk, smetana, and cocoa. Ooh, okay, large pieces. Let's shake gently. An aromatic goblet. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Snow-Kissed Dawn. Legend has it this drink is a masterpiece crafted by a painter and a bartender together. Live by Dragonflight at dawn with a dollop of Satana and an energizing kick from cocoa, it restores the drink's vitality almost instantly. Well, I hope Lisa likes it. It's Snow-Kissed Dawn. Hope you like it. It's delicious, cutie. Pleasantly tart, sweet but not cloying, smooth on the palate, and a refreshing aftertaste. If anything, though, I seem to be feeling a little more energetic than I'd like. Perhaps you've unwittingly unraveled Glenfiddle's secret and concocted an even more effective pick-me-up. Tinker with the ingredients. How about I adjust the recipe and makes you a new one? Don't worry, there's no rush. Your eyes aglow with curiosity, as though you have many more questions to ask. Let's chat for a while. Take your time. Inspiration will come soon enough. So now we have to chat to her. Okay. Tell me about your librarian duties. Which books have you collected today? Since you're asking, it's been a bit of an unusual day. There's a chef, fresh out of training from Fontaine, who's recently taken up a position at the Goth Grand Hotel. She borrowed our most valuable book, the Mondstadt Millennial Companion of Desserts. Apparently she plans to use dessert-making techniques to improve the taste of various savoury dishes. Think about reducing their greasiness? Like meat dishes, that sure is a novel approach. Indeed, and judging by the result, she rather overdid it with the caramel sauce. It should have been fragrant meat slices and ended up tasting nauseatingly sweet. Caramel sauce is such a fantastic ingredient, you know. It never fails to please when added to drinks. Sometimes I even add a spoonful to my afternoon tea. Improving food, I suppose, isn't always about being as creative as possible. Ah. Okay, no, Lisa likes caramel. Well, Lisa managed to write down the Mondstadt Millennial Companion of Desserts earlier, and she seemed particularly fond of caramel sauce. Perhaps I could try substituting some of that for the tangier smetana. Okay. Ah. By the way, is that a notebook you brought with you? Oh, this? That was for another of today's little errands. A large contingent of the expedition team will be returning to Mondstadt soon. They've been away for such a long time, there's a good chance many of their tastes have changed. You asked me to visit some of their families to try and get a better understanding of what new ingredients might satisfy our night's changing preferences. Such detailed planning, such thoughtful arrangements. While they're all devoted their blood, sweat, and time to protecting Mondstadt, they deserve some care and respect in return. Based on what I gather, the most requested ingredient was cacao from Natlan. Seems like our knights have developed a taste for cocoa. In the letters, many of them have mentioned they rely on cocoa to keep themselves energized. I try hot cocoa myself, and I must say, I find it just as effective as coffee when it comes to staying alert. Ooh, that's not good. So what kind of ingredients have you been into lately? Lately, so careful with your wording, cutie. Is that because you think I too might have changed since we last met, or simply because you can't remember? Are you so well trained and well bred, surely it's normal for your taste to change from time to time? Not bad at all, a flawless answer. Back in my student days, I might have been drawn to every new and exciting ingredient I read about, constantly expanding my horizons and stepping out of my comfort zone. But now I've grown accustomed to a life of comfort and routine. To paraphrase a certainly legal expert, my life is fast approaching a state of living out one's golden years in peace and comfort. I'm no longer so easily moved by adventure and excitement. I'm sure you remember, a few years ago when we were adventuring together, you found me that sweet-tasting alchemical ingredient. My taste hasn't changed a bit since then. Anywhere outside the city today? Surely you're not suggesting I take this opportunity to sneak off on a little countryside wander? You got me. My investigations into Mondstadt's lesser-known drinks took me to Dawn Winery, where I had a little chat with the head housemaid Adeline. On my way back, I ran into her Amatul. Out on patrol, she'd encountered some monsters she didn't know how to deal with, and in her desperation asked me for my help. I accompanied her on a tour to Wolverton to teach some raving hounds a lesson. It's been a while since I've had such an invigorating workout. Okay. Cocoa might help her stay awake. He's looked into the expedition members' preferred ingredients, and it seems like cocoa came up quite a lot. When I think of it, Snowkiss's Dawn uses cocoa too, but cocoa can be quite a potent stimulant, so it's better probably best to leave it out. If I made a visit to Dawn Winery, passing through Wolverton, perhaps I could throw in a touch of local flavour. With these ingredients, I have small lamp grass and wolfhook that are both native to Wolverton, which would make for a better drink. He was joking about her life, comfort and routine. She also mentioned the chemical ingredient I found for her a few years back. If I remember correctly, the ingredient was valberries, another good choice for a drink. I swapped the small lamp grass for valberries, and since I switched up the garnish, why not change the cup too? So it'll appear more novel. Okay, this one. Not sure there's a strong enough connection, perhaps I should try a different approach. Oh, I found something more. Okay. No. Small lamp grass and wolf garnish that's replaced with valberries, then I just need to figure out how to incorporate the wolf hooks. They have a bright tangy profile that should help balance out the sweetness of the caramel sauce. Okay. It seems like you make a standard drink, they don't like it, you talk to them, and then you make a real drink. Alright, I think I know what fits the bill. Maybe rustling up a new improved version. As expected, Cutie, your brilliant mind has grown even sharper. Just a few gentle hints were all you needed to light that special spark of inspiration. Okay, milk. Caramel. Wolf hooks. Let's cut small pieces. 'Cause it didn't say. Gently doubled. A large or small goblet. Okay, so she doesn't want this one. Let's go for a large goblet. And then want to garnish with valberries. Slumbering Rose. Based on A Snowkiss's Dawn, this novel cocktail was concocted specifically for Lisa. After a long day, the librarian needs to recharge without risking sleeplessness. Making this drink, you skipped any stimulating ingredients and found a delicate balance between the sweetness of caramel and a gentle tang. The goal was a peaceful, restful sleep, so why not call it a Slumbering Rose? Finished! A new creation custom made for you. This should help you fall asleep quickly and guarantee you peaceful dreams. It's called a Slumbering Rose. From the colour to the choice of glass, everything seemed carefully crafted. You've turned it into a completely different drink. It's pure in appearance, it's exactly my style. Time to see how it tastes. Full marks. It's like savouring exquisite dessert before taking a stroll along the shore of Side Lake with a gentle breeze caressing your skin, relaxed and at ease. I no longer feel drained of energy, but neither am I overstimulated. I'm actually starting to feel a little sleepy, and as a bedtime drink, this is pure perfection. So good, in fact, I feel like writing an article to extol the virtues of the slumbering rose. I can use it as an opportunity to crown you the new maestro of mixology. That might be taking things a little too far. Your satisfaction is all the praise I need. Speaking of lakeside strolls, why don't you join me next time there's a clear, warm day when the sun is bright but not too harsh? Any walk would be more relaxing with you to talk to along the way, cutie. Then when we get back, you could fix up another glass of slumbering rose. That sounds lovely. I'll make sure to set aside the time. And I'll make sure just as sure to hold you to that. When the time comes, I won't accept any excuses. Well, that's quite fun. I like that. It's quite wholesome. A little, very, calm little game. That you just get to go and mix drinks. Oh, and I get it as a furnishing. Oh, nice! Okay, perhaps due to certain residents. Wait, let's guess on its friendly shade of rose purple instantly soothes your mind. This might just be the perfect opening. Perhaps due to certain resonance of fragrances, you've attracted a visiting perfumer from a faraway land. She wanders over to see what drinks Stand has to offer. Oh, Yinger? Maybe? Oh no, or Emily. Emily, probably Emily. It is, she's gonna be so offended I thought she was Yinger. Good afternoon, Kaiko. Emily. Oh, I haven't met her yet. A renowned perfumer in Fontaine's perfume industry and a skilled forensic cleaner. Oh, while the world often romanticizes perfumers in Emily's eyes, whether crafting fragrances or erasing traces, both are essentially no different from precise chemical experiments. She treats bottle senses with rigorous rationality and brings the same disciplined calm to this sort of crime scene. Though she prefers to keep a comfortable distance from others, she never holds back her patience or kindness from those who truly wish to open up to her. I expect the honour of witnessing your harmonizing talents here in Mondstadt. Are you here on vacation? Are you here on business? Vacation? Both, actually. Lady calling herself a mage asked me to come manage her flower shop. At about the same time, the Cat's Tail commissioned me to create a new fragrance for their establishment. Ending today's busy schedule with a drink crafted by you in person is truly a wonderful reward. I'll make sure to put out all the stops. I'll mix you a special surprise. I have faith in your choice. Emily's more sensitive to aromas than most people. If I create an unbalanced blend of scents, it might make her uncomfortable. In any case, I should use ingredients with complementary scents and try to add a dash of Fontainian flavours too. Let's start with a Mondstadt take on a Lumideuse Twilight. Do we get to chat to her first? No, I guess we have to make it first. And then we go chat to her later. Okay, the choices, feel free to improvise. Okay, well let's just start with that. Tea, fermented juice, and some mint. Oh! And gently. And we want a tall glass. And we want some Valberries. Lumideuse Twilight, a refined cocktail from Fontaine that has been described by drinkers as capturing the warm glow of sunset over Lumideuse Harbour. Rumour has it you can still order this gem from the hidden menu at the Rusty Rudder, though it's rare for the bartender to recreate its original flavour perfectly. Care to give this a try, Miss Emily? Your artistry is truly a pleasure to watch. This tastes like a local variant of a Lumideuse Twilight, am I right? Spot on, you got it right away. The gentle and elegant taste with its distinct layers, combined with a hint of Mondstadt's characteristic scent, offers quite a welcoming flavour, all the while avoiding potentially discordant aromas. In reality, there's no need for you to be so conservative. I have quite a high tolerance for flavours that stray outside of boundaries of conventional wisdom. This one's probably a bit too traditional, huh? Guess you're looking for something more avant-garde? The drink was nice, but it would be perfect if you could make one with a little more depth, a cocktail that shows off your unique understanding and enhances my impression of Mondstadt. Any time to mull things over, perhaps you might find inspiration in a light conversation. We gotta do our bartender duty and chat to the people. Tell me about your work. How's everything been with your perfumery lately? Oh, thank you for asking. It's been going well, though the trip to Monster has presented some unexpected challenges. When I first got here, I was relying on a copy of an overview of aromatic substances on the human senses to identify promising local ingredients from the Mondstadt region. To my surprise, my trial fragrance, which used Valkyrie as the primary note, proved far too sweet in the context of a tavern, relaxing people so much they ended up feeling drowsy. The bartender with the beautiful ears, for instance, fell asleep right at the bar. I never knew Valkyries could have that effect. I guess that means Valkyrie perfume is off the table. Let's just say their sweetness isn't always the case, for the more the merrier. Maintaining an appropriate balance is beneficial for both body and mind. Even in daily life, I rarely eat sweet food, and I try to avoid fruits like berries that have a high sugar content. In the end, I completely eliminated Valkyrie as an ingredient and turned instead to the Windward Aster, and with some success, I might add. Okay. Did you buy these flowers just now? They're part of my reward from the flower shop owner. Important ingredients for making perfumes. Thanks to these, I was able to complete my commission for the cat's tail. I studied Mondstadt Cecilia flowers many years ago. In fact, the fragrance of Cecilia, in certain fields, has become synonymous with the Mondstadt itself. However, this is a special case. Some cats are quite averse to the scent of Cecilia, and we need to be particularly mindful of their preferences. So, what did you use for your aroma this time? Which flower did you use instead? Windward Aster. The various parts of the Windward Aster plant can be ground into a powder to extract their essence. I then blended the scents with its petals and leaves. The result carries the intoxicating sweetness of mead, also emphasizing the fresh notes contained within the flower stems and leaves. I took it for a little try around at the cat's tail, and the cat seemed to really like it, while the clients themselves found it comforting and invigorating. Extracting exquisite fragrances from ordinary overlooked ingredients, that's what truly brings me joy. The weather's nice today. This is what it feels like to start a conversation with the classic icebreaker. It really is. A while earlier, I watched a whole run of fair weather clouds float by, fluffy as pillows. It's not overly humid either, and the wind is gentle too. In such conditions, one's sense of smell is heightened, but not to an excessive degree. When scents are blended well, they naturally combine with the ambient context, leaving particularly powerful impressions. I never realised scents were so affected by the weather. I've never heard that before. How fascinating. If something similar is true for mixology, as long as you choose a base of appropriate strength, the various flavours will blend seamlessly together. When mixed properly, all the ingredients work as one to create a most wonderful symphony for your taste buds. I see, so the combination of flavours is key. Prefer flavours that blend together harmoniously. Yes, that's it. I think about it, layering distinct flavours doesn't really suit my personal preferences. What do you usually drink? Usually, after work, my friends from the Maison Gardiennage sometimes treat me to a few drinks. I usually stick to fruit tea, that way I can get straight back to work after our gatherings. If it's before a holiday and my friends are in high spirits, I sometimes order a small glass of sparkling fruit wine. There was an officer named Terena who used to treat me to aged court wine, but since she was transferred to the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, we haven't had the chance. Oh, so you do drink alcohol sometimes? I worried I might overstimulate your senses. In the world of science, high-proof alcohol is a widely used solvent. I've grown well accustomed to the smell of it by now. Besides, I'm slightly tipsy, my state of mind changes, which in turn alters my approach to perfumes. It doesn't matter if the result is good or bad, it's all about trying something new. I don't mind drinking just a little bit of alcohol, but I don't like anything too strong. Okay, let's see. Incorporate Windward Asters. Emily created a new fragrance using Windward Aster, and apparently it was quite successful. So what's the best way to incorporate the scent of Windward Aster? Process the petals further. Windward Asters seem like a good choice to make sure everything blends into one. I could try finely chopping the petals and spreading them across the top. When we're talking about the weather to the best way to blend scents, Emily prefers single CVC integrated scents rather than those with distinct layers. In which case, I need to blend each ingredient together thoroughly in her drink. I shake it a lot harder to make sure the flavours don't separate. Emily enjoys fruit tea, but she also occasionally drinks alcohol to get a little bit tipsy and spark her inspiration, so I guess I can add a dash of light wine to the base, perhaps something fruity. The Savabris has added a few complications to Emily's work. Emily believes that too much sweetness may not be a good thing for the human body. Savabris are also used in Luminous Twilight, perhaps I'd better swap them for something else. Okay. I think we've done it. I think I know how to improve your drink. Please bear with me a second while I update the recipe. Just from our brief chat, you already formulated a new concoction? Perhaps you possess a natural talent for this kind of creative work. I do like that they both kind of drank the drinks anyway. So that's fine. Let's add some... Oh, we can add fruit wine at this point. And then chopped petals. I don't think that was an option before. And fermented juice. Okay, and we're gonna chop it into tiny pieces. And we're gonna shake vigorously. And now we want a double walled glass. And we want to garnish with anything other than valberries. Let's go with small lampgrass. Lumide's Twilight Special Blend. Based on Lumide's Twilight, this novel cocktail was concocted specifically for Emily. The perfumer from Fontaine told you that excessive sweetness makes people drowsy, and she prefers to enjoy just a light touch of tipsiness. Clearly, knocking a guest out of the bar isn't a bartender's main goal. On days of gentle wind and clear skies, heightened senses can amplify the flavour of a perfectly harmonious drink. Inspired by the art of fragrance, he developed this subtle, elegant masterpiece. Here you go, a new and improved Emily-inspired Lumide's Twilight. I haven't come up with a name for it yet. The colours are cooler and more refreshing, and the fragrance is delightfully subtle to match. These bright specks on the surface, the crushed petals and leaves of Windville asters. Yes, you clearly know your stuff. It's a floral symbol of Mondstadt. I'm sure it must taste wonderful. Let me try. In the language of flowers, the Windville aster represents the visible winds. Your cocktail not only captures their form, but also the fragrance they carry. Therefore, I suggest you call this drink Windborne Bouquet. The winds and clouds of Mondstadt swirl together in the glass, leaving behind enchanting traces of the fragrance. Perfect name from a master of perfume, elegant and full of style. Really? Perhaps it's just a habit of my profession. I'm glad you like it. Now it's time to slowly savour this masterpiece. Thank you so much, Kaiko. This trip to Mondstadt has been so rewarding. This is the most memorable cocktail I've ever had. Once I get back to Fontaine, I will attempt to recreate this moment as both a fragrance and a perfume. I'm honoured. That's so exciting to hear. Once I go back to the recipe, I hope you'll do me the honour of being the first customer to experience these new products. Until then, I look forward to seeing you in the court of Fontaine. Okay, I think we can do maybe one more. But wow. I wonder, if I'd done something different, would it have been different? As in, if I'd used the salt star, would I have got a different drink? I wonder. I mean, probably. Probably. Let's do one more, and then the rest of these we'll have to wait till next time. Claymore and Musket. The drink stand was built to keep knights. To help knights relax after long days on duty, and it just so happens that certain chapters recently returned from a long posting at Dragonspine. Albedo? No, Eula! Huh? You're looking up the drink stand now? If I'd known sooner, I would have stopped by this morning. Thanks for your support. Anytime you need a drink, I'm here to serve. I've got to say, I'm getting curious. I've heard a lot about your mixology skills. I wonder what kinds of drinks you can mix with the ingredients Glyfinda has prepared. You seem busy. You've been working extra hard lately, haven't you? I don't have much of a choice. It's just one thing after another right now. First off, the Knights of Pony's annual combat assessment is coming up, and this year the standards are even higher than ever. As a captain of the reconnaissance company, I have to lead by example. At the very least, I need to rank as one of the top 3 captains in the practical portion. So I've been intensifying my training lately. That's your style, huh? It's my first time seeing the side of you as a captain. Being a descendant of sinners means I have to work hard to maintain my position. I'll have you know, I've never once neglected my duties. Anyway, on top of all of that, the General Affairs Company has invited a renowned champion duelist from the Court of Fontaine to come here for a swordsmanship exchange. Since I'm one of the captains with the highest attendance rate when it comes to these things, and I'm fairly skilled with the claymore, I was chosen as our representative. I have to prepare thoroughly to make sure I'm a serious match to the champion duelist. And then after the exchange, I need to write at least 6 different reports based on the results. Sounds like you could do very well with the stiff drink. You could do with something to replenish your energy. Oh, I sure could. Anything that'll put me up would be welcome. I'll leave the details to you. Given Yula's current condition, it might be a good idea to mix her a twinkling starlight. Okay, let's add some fruit wine, fizzy water, and some wolf hooks. And we're going to have to chop it into small bits. And we're going to shake it hard. And we're going to put it in an aromatic goblet. With a star salt. Oh, it's pretty. Twinkling Starlight, the special cocktail was inspired by the stunning vistas over Cider Lake beneath the starry sky. Both its colour and flavour hint at a refreshing nature, but those with a light tolerance should be careful of its lingering kick. One Twinkling Starlight for Captain Eula. Hope you like it. You made a confident tone. I'm certain I will. Well then, I'll make sure to savour this thoroughly. Ah, not bad. Sweet and tingly with a delightful airiness, the fizzy water really brings it to life. Suddenly feel full of vim and vigour, but just one glass and quite scratch the itch. How about something with a bit more bite? Not strong enough for you? Looking for something with more of a kick? Don't hold back. You don't need to worry about putting me on the floor with nothing but a couple of drinks. Let's chat while I decide. Just making it stronger won't cut it. I need to rewrite the recipe from scratch. Works for me. The first company hasn't assigned me any paperwork for tonight, so I'm free to catch up and try your new creations at my leisure. Okay, it's been a while since we last saw each other. Have you been stationed near Dragonspine this whole time? Yes, I have. For a while, the situation there was difficult. A gang of outlaw engineers was messing about with some sort of mechanism control technology, attempting to manipulate ruined raiders so they could rob merchant caravans. To make matters worse, several veteran knights who had been stationed at Dorman Port were transferred to my squad, and they weren't happy to be taking orders from that Lawrence girl. Getting them on this mission was quite eventful. It took 3 weeks of stealth operations in the snow, with no fires to keep us warm, before we finally located the enemy stronghold. Those veteran knights faced the bitter cold and were almost taken down by the enemy's smuggled battle mechs. Fortunately, the battle went our way, and they had no choice but to acknowledge my abilities. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Did you catch a cold? Me? I'm completely fine, but thank you for your concern. It was mentally tiring for sure, but fortunately the operation wore them down far more than it did me. They won't be questioning my authority again anytime soon. If any new recruits try to make my life difficult, I'll just have my veterans give them a few friendly pointers. I guess you could call them a permanent solution, huh? What do you usually eat when you're busy? If you want to know what I've been eating recently, I'd better start by mentioning the logistics company's latest revolution. They launched a diet improvement initiative and started distributing a form of standardized canned food to knights operating in the wilderness. In the past, we only had dry rations. Every mealtime, we had to set up plots of campfires, roll dice to choose a cook, and take turns standing guard. In all honesty, it was a bit of a hassle. Now we need to bring our standard field rations, comprising of 5 cans and 9 paper packages. We can heat the cans by the campfire and then we're ready to eat. Sounds pretty convenient, so there isn't a downside. You did say sounds like right. Our canned food supply has quite the stellar reputation, and their regular meals are indeed quite good. The problem is, in order to meet preservation standards, they have to make their military-grade meals way too salty. The vice captain of the 5th Company, who has a somewhat dry sense of humour, went so far as to say this food's bad enough to bring down the wrath of the US Stove God. In any case, after eating it for a week, my taste buds have gone completely numb. Is it really that bad? Someone should be held to account. We can hardly blame the logistics company. After all, it's hard to please everyone. The feedback has already been submitted, and they should be working on fixing the issue. Of course, having fresh meals prepared in camp by a dedicated company chef is still the best option. I was wondering, that bottle you're carrying, is it imported fruit juice? That's right, the merchant I got it from called it Maritime Flower Fruit Extract. It has a very unique smell. Here, have a bottle. Have you been drinking a lot of this lately? Why carry it around? Oh, it's a nasty courtesy. In that book Miss Magistus lent me, The Blade Dancer 20 Years On, it says, after a duel, a Fontanian swordsman will politely invite their defeated opponent to a banquet. Probably play host to Miss Florand, I searched for quite some time to locate a rare goods merchant in Dorman Port who sold this juice. That was something out of a story. I had my doubts at first too. Amber said something that makes a lot of sense. She said even if this custom doesn't really exist, following it still shows I've made an effort to understand Fontaine's cultural heritage. Besides, he doesn't like trying new things, right? I'll treat Miss Florand to this juice at our post-training banquet. Okay. With how demanding her duties in Dragon's might have been, Yulia probably hasn't had time to fully recover. Help you replenish her strength, I can raise the cool-tasting wolfhooks with some warm cocoa. Yulia had some special maritime flower fruit extract with her, and she gave me a bottle to keep. She really likes this fresh fruity flavour. I can probably find a way to incorporate it into her drink. Today's experience seems to be something worth remembering for Eula. I should find a way to reflect that in her drink. Glory teased out some threads of inspiration from our discussions and tried to piece them all together. Eula brought back up the canned rations she's been issued with recently. Apparently they're so salty they've left her taste buds numb. With that in mind, I should probably remove star salt from the mix. If Eula sees a coating of salt on the rim of her glass, it might make her feel faint. No. Okay. This. Every region has their own signature flavours, and the sword techniques of Monster and Fontaine have their own distinct character too. I need to find out what Eula thinks, maybe I can chat with her some more. Ooh. Okay. How are you feeling about your upcoming contest? Oh my, to be honest, I'm eager to begin, but I'm also a little nervous. Miss Cloran's combat style comes from the mysterious Marshes Hunters. In the library, there are some old Fontaine newspapers from hundreds of years ago that give some idea of how formidable an organisation it was. A more recent newspaper claimed that Miss Cloran was an orphan from an underwater kingdom and that before battle she would perform rituals inviting spirits to possess her sword. Assuming these rumors are true, or that Miss Cloran's abilities might even be more extraordinary than that, it's important I'm prepared for anything. After our historic showdown deserves an extra special cocktail. Should we commemorate it with a sword-themed drink? Incorporating elements of swordsmanship into a drink? Certainly a creative idea, I'll give you that. I sure could do with an energy boost, but how do you plan to express something like swordsmanship with a cocktail? From what I've seen, Fontaine fighters armed with rapiers excel at thrusting attacks. They put a high price on precision and sustained pressure. That definitely matches the description I read in that book. If I were to compare that to a drink, I'd say they're like coffee, pure fruit, ice wine, or month-out fruit wine. They may not overwhelm your senses, but they refuse to fade away. In fact, the first drink you tried had a fruit wine base. That's right, you really know your stuff. I doubt there's anything else in all of Tibet who could come up with such a perfect metaphor. Your swordsmanship is different though. You're like a lead dancer with the claymore guiding your blade through big sweeping arcs. You need one hit to unleash an avalanche of destruction. In other words, your style emphasizes forceful impact at the moment of contact. There's no need to make it sound so fancy, it's just an aristocratic variant of Favonia's blade work, with a bit of personal flair. So you're more like a strong spirit that hits the senses hard and then leaves us clean ice afterwards without lingering flavours. Firewater. In recent years, firewaters gained popularity in the world over, following in the wake of prosperous Shenzhen merchants. These days, almost every tavern has a signature drink that uses it as a base. Then we found the perfect solution together. You really are good. Why don't we try replacing the fruit wine with firewater? As for the alcohol content, that's not a problem. Plenty of the expedition team may have drunk themselves senses with firewater, but me, I'm full of confidence. Okay. Just about differences between Eula and Cloran's blade work, I think I can represent this in the mouthfeel of Eula's drink. Yova's conclusion is to swap out the fruit wine for the firewater. Crash the big sweeping arcs. For sword fighting, a small cup won't cut it. We need something a little heftier. Okay, let's make this. Alright, I think that's all I need. I know exactly how to prepare your next cocktail. Brilliant, I'm looking forward to seeing how you do. Okay, we gotta start with firewater. And maritime flower juice. And cocoa. And now we've chopped it all up. And we're going to shake it hard. And we use medium or large goblet. And we gotta garnish it with anything except salt. I think the lamp grass looks nice. The Foam Sword Song. Based on Twinkling Starlight, this novel cocktail was concocted especially for Eula. Eula's swordsmanship is like a whirling waltz, strikes with the force of an avalanche, yet finishing flourishes are clean and elegant. This bold approach is reflected in drink preferences. To match your style, the drink you prepared combines ice pure firewater from maritime flower juice, steeped in commemorative meaning, and restorative cocoa to replenish her energy and banish fatigue, creating a true dance of flavours. Since this blend is inspired by the Stranger's Knight's Dancing Blade, Seafoam Sword Song felt like the perfect name. Here's your new Seafoam Sword Song, mixed to meet your personal preferences. Oh my, what beautiful colours, and you even added my romatine flower fruit extract. The aroma is perfect, and I can smell the alcohol, but it doesn't stifle the fruity fragrance. Let's see how it tastes. Can't wait to hear what you think. Give you a moment to come up with the right words. I need to think carefully. I know it's not becoming of a lady, and a proper connoisseur would savor their drink slowly. But I'm sorry, this is just too good to be true. Can you mix me another? Of course, feel free to order as many as you like. How many do you want? 2, 3, is no problem for me. And so Yulia lost in friendly composition, drank 3 Seafoam Sword Songs without even realising it. Oh, haha! Oh no, what was I going to say? I completely lost my train of thought. Ah, whatever, I feel fantastic. This cocktail is the best I've ever had. I think I'm going to head home and get some sleep. Do you think you maybe had one too many? Maybe I should have gone easier with the firewater. Don't worry about me, this is the happiest tipsy I've been in years. I'm still far from being drunk. By the time I've got on a few rounds with that Miss Florent and completed my reports, I'll have been on duty for 3 months straight. Jean, the acting Grand Master, isn't it about time she gave me some time off? Don't be forgetting this injustice in a hurry, you mark my words.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to see me play live, then check out my Twitch channel. You can find me on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 PM GMT. Thanks again, and have a great day.